Hey Capricorn, so today we're going to be checking out what your next phase in life is. We're going to check out what you're being called to, what does this look like for you, actions needed, impact, and try to get a little message from your spirit guide. I have already pre-shuffled the deck and cleansed the space, so we can go ahead and get started. Okay, what is Capricorn being called to next? What is Capricorn being called to next? Okay. Okay, yeah, I got the Strength card, the Karma card, and the Seven of Pentacles. So you're being called to have a bit of R&R, to kind of relax, to recharge, and to recenter yourself, and to kind of like, I wouldn't say reposition, but just really like, really regain your energy. Because I feel like you guys have been like having a lot of obligations, or you've been working really hard, or been having to make a lot of changes really fast. And so spirit is really wanting you to kind of, take this some time to relax, to get back to what you love to do, or to reconnect with an old hobby, or to reconnect with the people around you. But just like it's really putting emphasis on you needing to relax and reconnect with yourself. And it's not saying that you're disconnected from yourself, but just you haven't been having a lot of one-on-one time, which is you and you. um, so you're really being called to do that, especially with the Seven of Pentacles card. It's like I feel like you've like this is all the work you have been doing, and like it's like there's no more you can do. Like they're not ready to harvest. The plant's already planted, it's growing, you fertilized it, it's everything's done about it. You just have to wait for it to harvest, but you're still like you kind of feel a little restless, or you feel like like okay, now what do I do, or like it's that kind of energy. But with this Karma and Strength card, it's really calling you to like just relax and take some time for yourself. Okay. Let's see. What does this look like for you? What does this next phase look like for you, Capricorn? What does next phase look like for Capricorn? Okay. Yeah. Ten of Cups, Seven of Wands. So if you guys already have like established family and stuff like that, I feel like despite that may being one of the reasons why you are have been working really hard, or have been not having a lot of time to yourself, it's still like it can still prove to be very beneficial for you if to spend time with that family, or just with the people around you, because I feel like the time that you have been spending with your family has been very um not out of responsibility, but just more like the activities that you have been doing with your family has a lot been more um like for instance, it's like okay, you for your mind you may be like taking your kids to practice, or taking your sitting at their games and their sports games, or their or little hobby events, but that's not really spending time with them, and so like that, so it's like encouraging you like to spend time with family in a more non-productive way. That's the word. It's like you guys have been spending time with your family to be productive. Like there's been productive tasks. There's been like a point and reason why you're with your family. And that's saying you don't want to be around them, but it's just more like it's always like there's always another task focus around it. And now it's like wanting you to kind of set time aside to just have spend time with family, to just to kind of like mess around and just kind of be silly and be loose. And it just, even if it's just as simple as taking a drive around the block, like, or or just taking a walk with them. It's just being very more intentful, to be non-intentful with them in a way. But yeah. And then but also though it's kind of looking like it might be a little bit of a struggle for you, because I feel like you're still going to feel like these responsibilities and these obligations and this time consuming, draining activities that you have been, or responsibilities that you have been facing, you're going to kind of feel like they're still looming over you. That you're kind of going to feel like you still have not a debt to pay towards it, but just like it's like you can't get away from it. And so that might be a little bit of a struggle, and might have to find a little bit of a balance. But a lot of this is just too, it's like self-created mentality. And because I feel like a lot of you Capricorns are kind of like borderline workaholics, or just very responsibility driven. And you take your responsibilities very serious. Um, And because of that mentality, it's going to be hard for you to a little bit to kind of relax and to kind of disconnect from that. And so that may be a little bit of a struggle. Let's see if I pull a card to see if there's any advice on that. Is there any advice for Capricorn to how to cope with? Okay. Yeah, okay. So, okay. Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords and Eight of Pentacles. Going for this card. Put this one over there. Okay. So yeah, with the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles for the advice to how to kind of overcome this feeling of just of not being able to get away or not being able to disconnect fully from your responsibilities and duties and obligations. It's very purposeful why that energy is going to come out for you. It is something that is it is something that it is an eternal workshop for you, in a sense of it's not so much just as to trigger you or to spur a tower moment or a dark night of the soul or death of ego or anything. It's just more of a sense of just like repositioning your mindset. So this R&R is very purposeful. It's not just to say, hey, it's a little reward, or hey, like just take a break and get your breath. This is very purposeful. And it's not a point of stagnation either. Your things are still gonna be moving and things are still gonna be happening. Like I said, like everything you just right now, you're just kind of at a point where there's nothing really more you can do with your own effort towards it. Like you done what you can, and now it just kind of has to grow on its own. And you're always gonna keep a watchful eye on it, but it's like nothing more you can really do with the responsibilities and obligations around you. Um, but this point of it is being very purposely triggered for you to kind of have that feeling of just like, oh, I can't get away, because this is something that's been kind of a, a pattern for you throughout your life, and something that has at times held you back, and at times it has just completely drained you, and at times has made you kind of turn away from certain opportunities because you felt like you did not have the space to do it, you didn't have the time to chase that opportunity, or you just didn't feel like it was responsible to chase that opportunity. um, so this is very purposeful because I do feel like in your close future there are going to be like there's going to be further opportunities offered to you where it would not be good for you to turn it down. And if you continue going on the route where you are kind of almost guilt tripping yourself with these responsibilities and obligations, you're going to miss out on opportunities that would further your own personal growth and development. um so yeah, it didn't really give me advice on that, did it? It gave me a why, but it didn't give me how you would cope with that. Okay, let's continue the reading, and then if I don't get any clarity on that, I will make sure to still ask at the end. Okay, actions needed. What actions are okay? The cards are coming out a little weird today. Okay, actions needed. Okay, yeah. So you got the Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups. Definitely. So how the actions needed to kind of let this phase happen, to let this R&R happen. Definitely. Please do allow other people to help you, or to trust other people to be able to cope without you in a sense as well. Because I feel like for some of you also have been like you've been a strong pillar of support, you've been a strong leader, or just a very important key role in a dynamic, whether it's work or family, hobbies, or whatever you have going on. It's just you play a very key role. And with this R&R, that's I think also why you feel like you still can't get away from it, because you still have people relying on you. Um, Spirit is really saying like you have to allow some people to you stepping back is not going to cause a catastrophe in other people's life. um, you stepping back is kind of going to allow other people to kind of, for one, help themselves, and for two, help you. They're going to kind of, it's going to, the roles, you have to allow the roles and energies to shift. If you continue holding on to the energy that if I let go, things are going to fall apart. If I let go, or if I don't do this, or if I don't do A, B, and C, like I've always done for this person or for this group of people or for this job, then it's not going to go smoothly and it's going to fall apart. You have to let go of that energy and transition into that energy of it's okay to let go, and trying to transfer that energy to flip it in a sense where the people that you've been helping, or person or group, kind of starts changing to help you in a sense. Now you're the one that kind of needs help, and not in a way like you just like, I know that can maybe that statement may have hurt a little bit of an ego for some, which I understand. But it's not like you need the help. It's just more of like support, offering you support. That's a better word, support. um, but yeah, you have to let things happen. You have to let go a little bit of the control, a little let go of a little bit of that worrisome um, concern that things aren't gonna go aren't gonna go well if you leave the picture. Things will be fine. Things will be good. You just have to let go and shift your focus away from it. All right, what is the impact of this next phase? Oh, okay. What's this one? Okay. With the Empress card, King of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. Yeah, okay. Lots of green. I don't know if green's important to anybody. I don't know, my eyes just keep going to green. And then for some reason, I never noticed that his armor has been green. I've had these cards for, I think, 4 years, and I never noticed that. Wow. Oop. Wow. Okay. Two of Cups. So, okay, so the impact of this next phase is going to be very, very beneficial for you. Like I mentioned earlier, this is separate. Okay, I'll read that one separate. That's why it was tripping me up because I was like, it's giving me a full sentence and then it just goes to a whole different paragraph. So this is separate. um, but with this, the Empress card and the King of Pentacles, you really are going to need this break. This break is going to be so important to you because it is going to change your mindset if you allow that to happen, right? If you allow this RNO to happen, because everything is still like a cycle. So even if you kind of don't follow this next phase, it's going to still happen again eventually, and it's going to continue to happen until you kind of learn the lesson that I mentioned earlier with the kind of letting go of control and people can fix it. And it's kind of time for you to have support for yourself and letting go of that fear that things won't go well if you don't put any more of yourself into, if you don't put 110% of yourself into it, that it's not going to work out. And once you let go of that fear, you're going to realize just how much more powerful you are, because you're going to realize that even at your 50%, you are still somebody who can get the job done. You're still somebody who can not only fulfill your responsibilities and obligations, but also still fulfill your promises to yourself. And I think that's the missing key. It's like you have maybe in the previous, like in your youth or just like in childhood, you've made yourself a lot of promises. And I feel like kind of in the shadow or like in the corner of your mind, there's a little bit of a disappointment towards yourself because you haven't been able to uphold those promises to yourself because you kind of life has kind of, put you in a position where you do have these obligations that kind of take up a lot of your time and focus. And it's not obligations that you resent either. These are obligations that you have fully welcomed and fully accepted. And like, I wouldn't take enjoy is too broad of a word for a general reading for everybody's different circumstances, but it's not something that you see as like as a burden. Um, but the impact of this phase is going to really help you step into your power fully more and realize just how much of a hard worker you are. But it's these promises that you made to yourself. Like I said, there's a little bit of a disappointment in yourself, and this next phase, this impact of it, it's going to make you feel that it's more possible to uphold these promises and to actually fulfill these promises that you have made to yourself. um, I feel like a lot of you have made promises of like where you wanted to be by the time you were 27, or where you wanted to live, or what your life wanted to look like, or what you expected of yourself, and the qualities that you expected of yourself. Um, and I feel like that's going to be more of a main focus point after this phase. After this phase of R&R, and if you do take the lessons that come with it, you're going to be moving into a next phase of almost not a, I wouldn't say rebirth, but like almost a restart for yourself. Not from scratch, but just you're coming back to you're remembering you're remembering your power. And you never lost it, but you're remembering the true purpose of your power. And that true purpose of that power has a lot to do with your own self growth and not the growth of others. Okay. And with the Two of Cups, the impact of this. So if you guys are not, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. So for those of you who are in a relationship, it's going to make your partner see you in a whole different light. It's going to make your partner really respect you more. I'm not saying they don't respect you now, but it's going to make them really respect you more, and almost they're going to feel inspired by you to kind of not do the same thing as you're doing, as in like you're finally kind of chasing after what you want. In a more sense, they're going to feel more inspired to kind of be more confident too as well in themselves, to kind of also kind of see you for what you have been doing for them, and see you and your like what like every little action that you have dedicated to them or to their relationship, they're going to now see. And it's not like they didn't appreciate you before, but it's like there's something about the way you communicate and the way you love people that can be very silent, and that can be very like it's little things for you, right? And maybe for this other person, they've always appreciated you, but they never really saw the full depth of how your actions translate into love. And after this phase of kind of healing with yourself, they're going to start seeing that more, because of how your energy shifts, and more, and how you kind of stand more centered in your power and more centered in yourself, and they start seeing the actions that you now do for yourself. And then they're kind of reflective, like, oh my god, wait, these actions that he's now doing for himself that I admire, he's always been doing for me, or she's always been doing for me. So yeah. Okay. What's something that needs to be oh no, we already answered that. What's the message from spirit? Okay. Yeah. Eight of Swords. Yeah. So okay, with the Eight of Swords, everything that's happening is around you is very purposeful. All these obligations and responsibilities is very purposeful. In a way, it's almost like spirit kind of wanted to trap you into this R&R kind of period, because they feel like you wouldn't have really taken that time for yourself otherwise. If you didn't already feel kind of a little bit overwhelmed or drained or just kind of tired, they feel like you wouldn't have accepted this period of R&R and time without guilt. And so spirit wants you to know that it's kind of very purposeful that you're kind of being forced into this or cornered into this, because they really don't want you to feel any guilt about things, even though you're kind of going to feel it regardless, because that's just how you are, of an awesome person that you are. um, but spirit does really is really supporting you on this journey. They're not abandoning you, they never have abandoned you, and they are really rooting for you, and they really hope that you do take this opportunity to focus on yourself, and to really remember what your passions and aspirations are for yourself. But yeah, that's all I have for your reading. Let me know in the comments down below if you resonated. It helps me better connect to your energy. Feel free to like and subscribe. I do offer personal readings, and I left the link down below in the description box. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm also sorry for the wait. I've been going to do some spiritual stuff myself, but yeah. So I'll see you guys next week. Well, I'll be doing your monthly again, and then hopefully I can get out a love reading for you guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.